How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. Jessica has me picking the next storefront for Ocean City here. The first applicant is 10 Things I Had About You. A hat store, I presume. Oh, but I super disagree. That is a phenomenal name. I might even go with that one just because. The second is Jarredware's Hardware, which we've totally run into Jarredware at some point, I think. I guess if your name is Jarredware... Oh, no. I think maybe... that's just been presented as a store option. And the last guy is Texas Instruments. Guys from Texas selling musical instruments, I suppose. But like Texas Instruments is like calculators, like a TI calculator. The hardware. I think that would be for music, jazz-based characters, muscle... like physical characters, and then the hats are just hats. So I think I'm going to go with the hat store. Because of the name, not despite it, Jessica. Okay, I'll get them moved in, and then I'm sure Charles will get the next storefront ready for applicants. Excellent! We are all set. You had a big day. You woke up, you started college, you finished college. All in a day's work. If only my degree was that simple. Ooh, we have a fun little banner right here in our room. You'll always look back fondly on your afternoon at college. How can you sleep when your bed is floating? I suppose you... No, I had to complete college in order to gain access to the book. So there was no version of it where I could have done part of college and then come back. Yeah, I always had to finish college before the next sleep. 3 statues of you, each whispering. Ooh, that one's real cool. The whisper drifts in and out and mixes together, making it hard to understand. All I got, all I ever, all I'm doing. Brawn, study, bluffing. All I got, all I ever, all I'm doing. Shut one of them up with my no tongue. Which one? Ooh. These are presumably like muscle, mysticality, and moxie. I guess I will close up the scowling one, because I guess that will be the muscle-based one. Sure. You quiet one of them. Now you can hear the others, and you got the perk pep talk. Yeah. You've given yourself a pep talk and convinced yourself that you can tackle your current problems with style and expertise. Sucker. +1 mysticality and moxie. Yes, that worked out exactly how I kind of hoped. You're dreaming, so it probably isn't safe to look too closely at your character sheet right now, if you say so. This dream has a horrible hole in it, which isn't always the case. Jeez. My research wasn't thorough enough. Is this the dude that we, like, interrupted? What did you do, you idiot? Something was keeping me out. Spooky effects. What will the barrier hold without me? See, that must be the design he was drawing. The squares and the hexagons were out of place. Perhaps through this there is an ending. One can hope. But if I tried to go back, you aren't interested in being him again. I feel like I didn't learn a whole lot through that. What is that weird-ass spider? Looks like he's made out of paper. And there's also the constellations and things. He looks like a little origami spider. Yeah, just back to the waking world. Peculiar. The pep talk is pretty sweet, though. I'm always down for just freebie benefits. Oh, honestly, because I'm missing all of the effects. Every effect is temporary. So many of those I get just from being like around my room. So I'll just be sure to like interact with everything again before I leave, but dang. Rub the crystal, get twinkling fingers. That's a pretty easy one. Heavy as the hand. That one adds nothing. Fairy fisticuffs. Okay, that doesn't really add anything for me, but still. Cute little creature, go Badgers. TV still not invented yet. Grammy, thank God you're finally awake. Am I? If you say so. What's eating you? I'm at my wit's end. Charles Wallace has gone missing. Really? Where did he go? He wouldn't be missing if I knew that. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. Okay, I'm panicking. Come on, Jessica, don't panic. I do know where he went before he went missing. Well, what happened? We were having trouble getting the Detectatron to focus on the next artifact. All we could get was the Big Moist. The Big Moist? The Big Moist? The Big Moist? It's a swamp north of Porkham, and I'm pretty sure that the entire swamp is not the cursed artifact in question. Charles went out there yesterday afternoon to see if a downed power line or something was causing interference. Huh, and he hasn't come back yet? No, he hasn't. Maybe I should go looking for him. Are you trying to drive me crazy? Come on, get a wiggle on. For crying out loud, Charles could have been eaten by a gator man by now. A map of the Big Moist, the sponge, you are assured, will act as an effective map of the Moist Lands. And the bus stop, excuse me, eaten by what now? Gatorman, you know. I don't, which seems like a good thing. The Big Moist is home to a tribe of nasty and belligerent half-people, half-alligators. They don't take kindly to intruders, such as, for example, Charles Wallace. You know what makes alligators so ornery? Mama say it's 'cause they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. Or me, presumably. Are you chickening out on me now, when a friend's life is possibly at stake? Ever hear of a sunk cost fallacy? From the look on Jessica's face, this does not seem like the best time for this quip, if you want to continue to have a face to make quips out of. Is this map a slice of Swiss cheese? It's a sponge. Which deli have you been going to? A sponge is definitely not a map. You're going to a swamp. It's soft, damp, and it has holes in it. What do you want from me? All right, okay, I'm on my way. I have so many stops to make. Calliope's Boon is not really the... I think the Dirches one is probably the one I still most want. I feel like I'm gonna lose a fair number of effects here. The potions, the food, whatever, those will come up just kind of eventually anyways. And I have... Ooh, there's where I get my meat. It's at the start of a day, of course. I will drink my beer, keep it simple. I'm gonna head to the Dirch's house to get my boon. Then I gotta go like warm my hands and a few other kind of like basic things. Do you want to talk about this random crazy place that we are? I don't think he has anything to say. I will get Ishmael's boon. The junkyard is in the next area. I will warm my hands. Are you selling anything different that you weren't already selling before? I already have one of those. Pistol, 14. I have so many of those. I think probably I don't need all of that. So how much are you willing to sell them for then? Or buy them for? Where are things that I have the most of? Robot fuel, I don't need all of that I would have got from slaying all them robots. That'll be a lot of free money, actually, that I have there. The anarchist hardware is definitely towards the bottom, then. Piece of scrap metal, again, don't need all that. I'll keep a handful, because it doesn't take up any space or matter, really. Am I crazy? Where are my anarchist hardwares? They're not going to sell... You're not going to buy them for much more than half price, right? Am I crazy? Well, A to Z. What am I doing? That'll be way easier. It doesn't even show up. I guess maybe certain things can't be sold? Thought everything would have a price. And yeah, that's my commentary on commercialism and capitalism. Okay, you meet yourself on the road. Good thing I'm not the Buddha. He gives you a worn out look. Not quite 1,000-yard stare, maybe like 500. And I would stare 500 more, just to be the man who stared 1,000 miles to give you a ring to yourself. Not really in the mood for jokes right now, to be honest. Take the damn thing. Is it a mood ring? No. I think we already have a mood ring. Look, you know how this works by now. I took it, so you have to take it too. But I'm the earlier you. If I don't take it, then you wouldn't have taken it earlier. I already did. Well, from your perspective, yes. That's the only one that matters to me, and when you're me, you'll agree. Take it. Fine, fine. This ring has only one side, so technically there's no difference between wearing it and not wearing it. Whoa. The Mobius strip tie in there, I love the way they described it. Helps you help yourself in combat. What is it? A pain in the ass. You want my advice? Don't use it. Why not? Because you'll find out. Find out what? Why you shouldn't have used it. Ask Chester at Delphine Farm. He'll explain, except not really. He turns and leaves before you can ask any more questions. Guess I got up on the wrong side of the bed that morning. Oh, it shows your companion walk around with you? How did I never, notice that before? The friendship ring. Familiar. The familiar, giving him a boost, sure, that's nice, I guess, but, I don't think it really does a lot. I think helping ourselves in combat is very funny, and I assume that means that we will just, drop in on ourselves. That we'll just kind of, show up and do a quick attack or something simple like that. So I want to see that play out, and I want to see why he's claiming that it's such a a warning beware type situation. It feels like it'll just be a quick little benefit in battle, and that'll be the end of it. Dang. I thought this tub was going to be easier to find, but I didn't really remember where it was. Turns out you gotta explore pretty thoroughly. There we are. Fish! Oh, right, yes, we can do all our fishing again. Although I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. It kind of just happens organically. So I'll just do my fishing stops here. I'll get water and hair and a couple meat. It's almost never anything that interesting. And I'm guessing when you're returning to an old fishing spot. Oh! Tub of lukewarm water. That was a one-time thing, I think? Dang, that hot bath was nice. I had stuff that gave, benefits to every stat. My stats are hurting a little bit now, comparatively. My notes are lacking, I think. Because the bath apparently is nothing now, and then I have those two. Any other ones that I collected, I thought were just things that came from my room, or shoot. So some of those bigger ones, the much more beneficial ones overall, I've lost track of. So if people want to remind me where those were, I will write them down, and then after reading your comment, I will add them to my in-game notes so I have them kind of permanently. I am going back to campus. I'm not trying to uncurse those items right now because I genuinely don't know how yet. But I never really did a very full exploration of campus, especially not the infinite hallway. So I figure I'll check that out. This hallway's infinite. Your bladder is not. We better hit up the restroom, you're right. A steam-powered toilet, you don't see these very often, and it's not hard to imagine why. Ooh, big experience. As far as you know, the sink is capable of providing an infinite amount of water. I guess it stands to reason that everything in the infinite hallway reaches infinitely. An infinite amount of fluorescent light has faded this painting away completely. 1001 Low Energy Chemistry Lab. Wait, did I read the book? I didn't. The Mutton Recipes book. This book is so much less scary than it used to be that it's now almost as boring as a real book. This 10-chapter cookbook consists of 1 chapter of actual mutton recipes preceded by 9 chapters devoted to techniques of securing the mutton in the first place. You're not that interested in mutton acquisition, but the tips have some general applicability. The Mutton Magnate. You know where to find mutton and mutton-adjacent substances. We have 2 perks now. 2 effects, 2 perks, 2 perks. Back to back almost that are meat enhancers. I'm gonna find so much meat. I truly don't know how far this gag will extend. I'll assume less than infinity, but those dorm rooms were seemingly infinite, so who knows. I guess Steam doesn't really work in an infinitely long duct. These events all happened millennia ago. Oh, to Professor Laurel Brent. You don't have any business in that room. But before I push notably further, I bailed very quickly, didn't I? Not intentionally. I didn't expect that to be the case, but this is a curious fascination here. There are too many people here with that name in the directory. You're too overwhelmed to look at any of them. So, I think any names I find in the infinite hallway will not be useful. That was the main thing I wanted to know there, and it seems to be all taken care of now. Faded away, split physics lab. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of randomization, but it's not like it changed leaving and coming back. The water pressure here is 1 divided by infinity. Bulletins. The bulletins are all way too old to be of any use. Narrow occlusion lab. I guess this is here in case you get tired on your infinite stroll. Wilma Ash. Soiled solid foods lab. This map is too narrow for you to figure out where you are on it. I guess it would be pretty cramped. Okay, most of these are not going to have new gags. Structural fluids. Dr. Zoe Jin. Occult Photon Lab. Tiger Talbot. These names may have been randomly generated when I first started the game. That's possible. Tertiary Particle Lab. Dr. Ulysses Badger. Low Energy Beverages. Dr. Orville Bacchus. Advanced Waveform. Woodcock Naze. Structural Foods. Quelia Sa. Divided Frequency. Dieter Mikado. Low Energy Solids. Dr. Doman Burchett. Ecology. Nancy. Ethical Physics. Beverages. Samuel. Double Studies. Sailzy. I'm guessing this is actually infinite. And ooh, a radiator. That's new. It's doing its best, but the hall is too big to heat. I'll go 100, and we'll see if I encounter anything of interest in that range. It's actually slower going than I thought it would be. I don't know why I thought that would only take like 10 seconds. The big reveal, Wet Ethics, Dr. Gorman Amusqua. I also thought there was a chance 101 would be a thing. That all seems to genuinely be infinite. I don't think I want to go there. I never have even gone to the Fission Chips Lab, and now I have like a mob quest going on there. So I have multiple reasons to go. You turn a corner and encounter a very weird sight. My tolerance, the cartoon devil, yeah, it's the fighting a cluster of shadows thing, which is what I expected. Is he with me every time? I thought he would appear randomly the way that like the mob sometimes hops in and helps. Have you been getting bigger? I'm genuinely uncertain looking at him right now. It seems like a distinct possibility. I kind of don't want this battle to end this turn because I want to see what I do. I also don't know what you do. He will poison the Shadow Homunculus or heal. Okay, I'm going to heal myself. And he just did like a hurt everyone basic attack, I guess. Oh, no. What the shit? That was the stench thing again. I still had like AP to spend. Is that ring crazy strong to have a second you? Because who cares if my familiar is slightly stronger? Sorry, you mosquito. But like, that's wildly more powerful, right? A wooden statue with a metal diving helmet for a head. Do you want to talk about this place? Do you like it? How's it going? Level as a carpet road, my friend. And yourself? Nothing else new there, I don't think. I meant to go talk to this guy. A sad-looking hobo selling pencils. You seem down. Not getting any business? Nope. I thought it was a real good plan, too. College kids always need pencils, right? But I can't sell a dang one of the things. They get this mean look on their faces, too, a sort of pitying sneer. Like they think I'm super dumb, and these must be dumb pencils that only write dumb answers or something. Well, that's no good. He looks glumly at the sidewalk and rattles his mug of pencils at you. The mug has "I'm with stupid" printed on it, with an arrow pointing towards the handle. Do you have any hobo codes quickly before I, help you along? You wouldn't want any hobo code I could give you. It'd probably just be dumb and wrong. It'd probably mix up the ones that means free pie here with the one that means bottomless pit or something. Jeez, man. He looks glumly at the sidewalk and rattles his mug some more. I'll buy a pencil off you, man. Thanks. This pen is mightier than the sword, but the pencil is greater than the sun and the stars. The pen is pathetic in comparison. Leave him. But I can tell him about the hobo camp, right? I could just buy more pencils too? How many pencils am I allowed to buy before he, I don't know, feels good about himself? It says it's a quest item. What if I bought, 5 of them? It's surprising to me that it would let me buy numerous of something that is a quest item, but man, what a bummer. You sure? You're just miserable, hey? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're so down on yourself. I'm certain you have something to offer the world. Wow, this guy's going to town. I just want to watch him mow burgers all day. A man in a really slick suit, described as such because it is both expensive and covered in grease, is stuffing his face. This has got to be Greasy Steve. This guy's glumly picking at a plate of food. Hey, is there something wrong? Oh, well, I just moved out here for school and this food is, it's fine, but it just isn't what we had back home. Oh, what's different about it? My dad worked at a barbecue sauce factory, so everything we ate was smothered in barbecue sauce. I thought I was ready for new experiences at college, but I'm so homesick. Oh, I'm sorry, I can relate. For me, it was maple syrup. It's not like we actually put it on everything, but it does come up frequently. And in places people wouldn't expect. I feel like when you entertain guests from outside of Canada, something will come up that has maple incorporated as an ingredient, and people will be like, wait, seriously, you put syrup in that? It's yeah, it's sugar, man. The same way you add honey to recipes. It's pretty versatile. We very rarely just eat straight maple syrup. I can relate. For me, it's maple. He keeps poking at his food and frowning. May I help? Oh, wow, really? That'd be swell. He puts a little paper cup out of his pocket and hands it to you. He has one of those tiny little fast food things just on hand. There's gotta be some barbecue sauce somewhere on campus, right? It's 1928 after all. A little paper ramekin full of nothing but delicious potential. I've explored a lot of campus already, but hopefully this will come up somewhere I haven't already been. You carry sauce cups around with you? Yeah, well, like I said, barbecue sauce is a really important part of my identity. Well, you'd probably be better served by carrying a bottle of it around with you, not a cup that could hold sauce. I'll see what I can do. Floyd Carbuncle. I'll see what I can do, Floyd. I'll leave you to it. Any luck finding anything? Not yet. This is a grid that explains what kinds of things are and are not sandwiches. It's surprising how often it errs on the side of sandwich. Right, is a taco a sandwich? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Absurd debates. This trash can is about what you'd expect from a trash can at a fish restaurant. Oh, I thought I was going to go fishing in it. Search it with sleaze armor. It's all just trash, but one of the pieces of trash is big enough for your head to fit into. Greasy paper hat. A paper hat soaked to near translucency by fry oil and fish grease. Moxie and sleaze armor. The kid behind the counter has the glassy-eyed stare traditional to all fast food employees, or rather what will come to be known as fast food in about 23 years. Ooh, if you've never watched The Founder, a Michael Keaton movie about the guy who stole the McDonald's brand from the McDonald's brothers, excellent movie. I genuinely don't know how much of it is accurate. I think mostly. Great movie. I just like Michael Keaton so much that he alone basically makes it worth watching. But in general, it's good. Yeah. Just since all the grad students are gone, there practically hasn't been anyone in here all day except for that one guy gorging himself. Who is he? I don't know. But he's in here every day, all day, and I'm trying to do the squeaky Simpsons fast food worker guy voice, and I never would have thought how hard that is to do, to make your voice cracky and prepubescent or mid-pubescent rather than just kind of higher. Sometimes other guys in suits come in and they whisper stuff all shifty like for a minute, and then the other guy leave and this guy keeps eating. It's freaking me out. What do they talk about? Look, buddy, I'm just working here part-time to pay my way through college, which in 1928 is completely feasible. I'm not getting involved in whatever that guy's deal is. Okay, well, what's on the menu then? Extra spicy cocktail sauce, not quite what he's looking for. A little cardboard cup whose contents are 1 part ketchup, 1 part lemon juice, and 9 parts horseradish. Extra spicy, yeah, normally it's like 1 to 1. I never add lemon juice though. I thought it was just ketchup and horseradish. That's good to know. I might have to tweak my cocktail sauce recipe because I genuinely do that. Because it's pointless to buy ketchup, horseradish, and cocktail sauce, because those two things have their own uses, and you just make cocktail sauce. Life hack. Increase item and meat drops, a fish burger style, a big breaded fish patty served in the preferred style of the medieval mercantile class. Increase muscle and HP. A fish sandwich. Have I seen these down in that basement location maybe? And do they have barbecue sauce? Is it still a hot dog if it's a big slab of fish instead of a sausage? This restaurant says yes. But is it a sandwich? This restaurant asks you to shut up. And a fish sandwich, I don't own any of them, so maybe I haven't seen this. This is a sandwich that is apparently very popular in the North Coast for some reason, so is that West Coast? It's a single, is it? I've lost track now, I don't even know anymore. It's a single round piece of very thin bread wrapped around some loose fish chunks. That one adds mysticality, so I guess that's the one I'll buy. I guess I'll buy one of each of them. Why not? And the onion starfish, this is too overcooked to eat, but you could definitely throw it at somebody. Hurl it for 10 sleaze damage. And there was... I feel like I just opened up something that I wanted to do before talking to him. I think I was just going to go hunting for barbecue sauce. I'm going to talk to Greasy Steve first. I like how you didn't phrase that as a question. You're a cool customer. You're Greasy Steve. I get why Donnie Thesaurus sees in you. Put her there. He wipes his hand on his lapel and offers you a handshake. You take it with a grimace and your hand immediately slides out of the grip. Now here's the deal. We got some, dirty meat, see? And we gotta get it laundered. Meat laundering? I don't know much about that. It's easy. The only tricky part is you gotta find a way into SIT's laundry room to do it. SIT's laundry room? Like an actual laundry? Yeah, on account of how it's a steam laundry, and only a steam laundry is gonna be powerful enough to clean this particularly dirty meat. He passes you a sack under the table and you take a look. Bag of dirty meat. A bag of ill-gotten gains. I'm trying to think of like the protein of meat, protein for gains. I'm certain there's a way to lace that pun together, and it's not coalescing. Ugh. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that you see what I mean. Anyway, get that cleaned up and bring it back to me, and you'll get your payment. He bats a briefcase sitting next to his chair. Gross. Well, all right. I have wandered the halls a fair amount, and am fairly certain I did at one point find a laundry. The infinite hallway, how it's drawn on the map there is pretty funny, actually. Weird vending machines. They're not the right kind of vending machine to find that liquor that I'm like kind of on the hunt for. I doubt the gift shop would sell barbecue sauce. It does not. And they don't sell mugs anymore. I did absolutely like manage to block that option off. Investigate? No, I don't want that. The laundry room. The laundry room is currently closed for repairs. We apologize for the inconvenience and ask that you refrain from washing your socks in the drinking fountain. The barbecue wing. That's very promising. Now I just have to hunt around and see if anyone here can help me. Down in the steam tunnels will be useful for the laundry, I assume. I can't access those. I can get into this one. Limited to students and faculty, so I can't even go into that one either. I don't think I could cut across through physical ed. So I basically have to go to the Steam access. And if I go down and access the barbecue maintenance, this all made sense to me. I wonder if I need to use chemicals on those painted doors. No, I don't think that would make sense, because what if I hadn't chose the chemical path? Then that wouldn't work. Launder the mob's meat. You don't want to look at the gross, filthy meat again, so you just throw the whole thing into the machine and start the wash cycle. You wait. The machine continues to launder the money. Continue waiting. You continue waiting. It's quite boring. Keep waiting. I don't want to shortcut anything. You are beginning to run short on patience. It is extremely boring. It is quite boring. You're beginning to run short. Like watching paint dry, but less interesting. You twiddle your thumbs. It's like watching grass grow, but there's no breeze. It's even lamer than usual grass growing. You watch the meat spin around for a while, but it makes you feel too dizzy. And maybe that's it. I kind of thought maybe I could earn some sort of perk for being the super patient and waiting this out the proper way. Skip to the end of waiting. You take advantage of the fact that time can pass at an arbitrary rate during one of these dialogues and skip to the end of the whole laundry process. Bag of laundered meat. This bag is as clean as the meat a whistle came. As the bag a whistle came in? I don't... clean as a whistle, I guess, and then... that's absurd. It's ridiculous. As far as you know, the meat inside is equally clean. So, that is handled. But there was the entire, like, barbecue wing dealio. So I want to make sure I keep looking around here. Ooh, I don't have any new cheeses for you. Sorry about that, man. I thought that maybe I would have something to share. Rufus, man, we haven't talked in a while. You got anything new going on? What should I do with these extra fishman eggs? And he makes me more scrambled eggs. And what about that? Nothing. He and I are good. Seems like we've taken care of some things. Ooh. I'm low on stats right now. Generally lower. I could probably wolf down some food and things to bring it up to there, but not gonna bother with that here right now, at least. Do you guys have barbecue sauce? Okay, see that they have the different style things that are all fish-based, but not quite what we were like looking for. None of these are barbecue sauce. But a table of condiments, that seemed like it had potential, you know? What can I do with the poster? I can just read it. Have I read this before? We refuse to be stifled or shackled by the man. I think we've probably gone through all that before. Open a manhole cover. Okay, I almost missed that entirely. Excellent. But I doubt there'll be barbecue sauce, but hey, whatever. We'll explore down this path. This pot is catching all the grease that drips down through the ceiling. You've got enough nasty goo already. No need to fish up more. I disagree. You get the sense that these are actually the clean dishes. Ooh, a new cat. Given this cat's condition, it can only be named Stinky. Well, that's rude of you to assume, but I do want to see what his boon would be. You can now pet Stinky. Pet him now. Whenever you get something gross on you, you think back on petting Stinky and how gross stuff on him didn't bother him at all. You should be more like Stinky. Keep my current boon. Not something I actually need. Maybe it would be useful for going and taking on chess or something like that, but I'll leave it alone. A pile of ingredients emits a record-breaking stench. Huh. Wonder if the underground restaurant upstairs knows there's an even undergrounder one down here. The fishman behind the counter regards you cheerfully. Ask what's for sale. He seems delighted that you asked. He plunks a tin bucket full of raw, chopped up fish parts onto the counter and garnishes it with a lemon wedge. Then he makes an expansive gesture at it like a used car salesman and waggles all 10 of his fingers at you. Buy it. He takes your meat excitedly and pushes the bucket towards you, along with a bent tin fork and hardly used paper napkin. Hardly used. You're pretty sure you see one of the fish's heads twitch as you pick up the bucket. He roots around behind his counter for something else to sell you. He holds up a fishing spear with a whole, still wiggling fish impaled on it. From his gestures and excited babbling, it seems like you get to keep the spear is the main selling point here. When you ask how much, he flashes his outstretched fingers at you twice. He bows graciously as he hands you the spear, which while he's distracted with your meat, you nonchalantly slide the fish off the end of the spear and kick it away without him noticing. Yeesh. He roots around behind the counter for something else. He shows you a small glass bottle filled with some kind of oil. His gestures seem to indicate that it's freshly squeezed. You see, just kind of like wringing it out or compressing. Then he holds up one finger and immediately holds it up again 5 more times. You pay him the meat and take the bottle, which somehow is greasier on the outside than it is on the inside. I think we've had one of these before, or maybe a few times. This time, he puts another bucket of chum up on the counter and gives you a big grin and 2 thumbs up. Then he holds up both hands worth of fingers and then a third hand. When you protest that it was only 10 the first time, he holds up a card that says market price. Buy it. You hand him the meat and take the bucket. This one seems to have more random guts and organs in it than the first one. Is that good or bad? He seems to be out of goods, but not wanting to turn away his best customer ever, he plops a big handful of fishman eggs on the counter. He holds up one outstretched hand and repeatedly opens and closes it 12, 13, 14 more times. Buy it. He takes the meat with an expression of pure delight and grabs your hand in a wet handshake that you politely disengage as soon as possible. And we have our fishman row. He doesn't seem to have anything for sale. Thank God. I just thought, why not? I'm probably never coming back down there. Let's make this poor little fishman's life, make his whole everything better. Wow, I really... But where is that gonna spit me out? The Hex Rock Mines? What the shit is that? Is that something I've done? Access to the Hex Rock Quarry is prohibited except with written permission from the Geology Department or a very good reason. And I can't actually go do that one, so it's not allowed. Well then, I'm thinking I'm not going to find barbecue sauce down here the way I thought I might. It's much more likely to be just a random thing that I'll come across, like wandering, I guess. That's all I can think. But at least we did something. We got our stuff that we can go take back to Greasy Steve. So that's where I'll be picking up next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Pitch me some episode titles, and I hope to see you again soon. Oh, look how casual of a pose he's striking. Cool guy.